Well, hey everybody, 650 Eve here. Welcome home to the channel. I think there's something wrong with my beautiful 2016 Kawasaki Ninja H2 because the last time I was racing it at our Nashville meetup, it was making a strange sound. I'm not sure what that noise was all about, but I do know I've got to pull some bikes out so that I can get to the H2 and take it up to Zach, the master mechanic. He's going to do an oil change and he's going to inspect the clutch to see if in fact it is slipping or not. So battery tender, we're not going to need the, wherever the heck it is in this garage, that's right here. We're not going to need this piece because we're not going to be riding the bike today. But what we are going to need is a nice cloth and some Motul wash and wax spray, because you're probably wondering, how the heck do I keep all of these bikes showroom clean when they're not covered? Well, periodically, every couple weeks or so, I come out here in the garage with my Motul wash and wax spray and I actually wipe these beautiful machines down. Yeah, this bike we're going to be giving away soon for supporting the new bike build series, but we got to get some parts on it from our good buddy Miami Manny and Moto Million first. It's going to turn out to be much better than my personal 2012 Ultra Dark RSV4 Factory. This is of course the Speed White RSV4 Factory, but let's do some cleaning and then pull these bikes out, huh? The world's most powerful Ninja H2 looks great next to the full carbon BMW M1000 RR with its Moto Million full carbon fuel tank. Look at that. Look at how it blends right in, matches perfectly with the rest of the carbon fiber on this machine. We have a full 6 full carbon fiber subframe coming real soon for that bike. But look guys, this thing has been attached to a battery tender for several weeks. Let's hear how it sounds with a cold start. Should fire right up. Yes, it does. Okay, I'm not gonna rev that machine. It's cold, guys, it's cold out here. I'm gonna put it in the trailer and take it to Sills for Zach the master mechanic to fix. H2's back on your bench.
H2's on the bench, so you're saying last time you rode it, it seemed like maybe the clutch was slipping or something.
Yeah, it sounded like that.
It sounded like it's got a little bit of a bog in it almost, up in the top end, like 5th gear. But you said it was only doing it when it was hot, so we're gonna try giving it a fresh oil change, and we're gonna inspect the clutch plates real quick. Okay. And see if either of those things are an issue. Other thing might be gearing, but unfortunately we didn't get the right size sprocket. Yes. So we'll change that at a later date and time, but let's go ahead and we'll take a quick look at these clutch plates, make sure they look all right before we change the oil.
Yeah, with our favorite Motul 300V.
So these are some heavy duty clutch springs. I think they're the Brox ones, aren't they?
Yeah, the Brox.
Look how long they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty crazy. So this clutch likes to come apart by itself because of the slave cylinder.
You've done several clutch replacements on my bike.
So far we're looking good from what we can see. All right, so once we get our pressure plate off, you can see this bike has what's called a hydraulic clutch. So it uses a master cylinder and it has a reservoir up there that has brake fluid in it. Yeah. And I can actually push back on the slave cylinder, which is on the opposite side of the bike. We'll show you. You can see the fluids going back up into that reservoir.
Yes.
So then when you pull the lever, what happens is the force pushes this out and separates your pressure plate from the clutch, which lets the clutch slip so you can shift and stuff.
Okay.
But it must have a stopper built onto the slave so that it doesn't blow itself apart, which is good because otherwise that makes a mess.
Yes.
Here's the slave over here, what we're talking about.
Oh, the fancy Brembo.
Yes, the fancy Brembo.
Yep.
With the I think it has a Brembo master cylinder too.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so I think as long as no one pulls that lever, we're fine. Don't pull the lever.
Stay away from the lever, guys.
So I usually just use a pick to kind of help get these clutch plates out because they get sticky with oil on them. I shouldn't say they get sticky, they want to stick to each other.
Okay.
And then they only want to come out like in a big group. So far we're looking pretty good. We're looking for any crazy discoloration. I mean, that does have some discoloration.
Yes.
And I do not believe they start that way. I think they start pretty much looking like that.
Okay.
So it did get hot.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Now, those ones you pulled out in the back, Zach, are those for the higher gears, like 5th and 6th?
No, it doesn't matter. These all work together and they work in every gear.
Okay.
It's not like a car where you have multiple clutches. There's only one clutch. And that just engages and disengages your transmission, no matter what gear you're in. But when you're in a higher gear, accelerating, it's more of a load on the clutch itself, which is why it has the heavy-duty springs. Did I bring another pick out?
I haven't seen one.
So. Sometimes if we get two, we can work together like so.
There you go. Now it comes out.
So all the fibers are looking okay.
Okay. It's the steels we're concerned about.
Yeah, the steels are looking a little... I don't think they're at a point that I'm too concerned about it yet, but they definitely got hot and show signs that it did slip. Not looking too bad in the back, just the middle there.
Yeah.
And this back one we can leave in, and there's two springs back here, which are like half moon shaped. That's called a judder spring. Just helps smooth out takeoffs.
Okay.
And this is just the final clutch plate, and it's cut for those springs. But yeah, so as we look in our pack here, just those couple in the middle, but I would say it probably did slip. So hopefully the oil change will help with that.
Yes.
Maybe this Motul will have different friction modifiers in it.
Yeah.
And it'll help it grab better. But definitely probably get some clutch parts on order.
Okay.
And if it seems to be doing that again, we'll probably change them.
Okay.
Or at least the steels. Those are some heavy duty clutch springs.
Yeah.
Took 3 of us. You always want to tighten these in a crisscross or just random pattern a little bit at a time so you don't crack this plate. 10 Newton meters on our 3 bolts here, which is not much at all.
Yeah.
And we should be able to see that engage and disengage now. Can you watch that plate move over on the other side? Yeah. Can you see it at all?
Yep, I see it moving.
Cool.
Yep.
Looks like maybe we'll have to change that fluid out. Looks pretty nasty.
Oh, okay.
If you look in the reservoir, it's kind of grayish in color.
Yeah.
It should be clear.
Okay.
That's easy enough. So while we're working on installing the clutch cover here, just wanted to mention that this clutch cover made by Extreme Creations.
Yes.
I always want to say exotic for some reason.
Yeah.
Makes this job much easier than if you have the factory clutch cover. The factory clutch cover is this whole piece with the oil sight glass and everything. So you usually have to take out all these screws, drain the engine oil, or have the bike on its side stand and get a new gasket just to inspect the clutch like we did. Where with this setup, you can see it's just these 5 screws, pull it off, we can inspect the clutch, put it right back on. And if you don't like the glass window, you can get it without the glass window.
Yeah.
It's just a piece that bolts on and off. But
yeah,
on a motorcycle, this bike is gonna go through clutches. Not at the extreme rate that yours is currently, but you're gonna probably need a couple of years. So clutch inspected. Had we had new clutch parts around, probably would have changed them just because, but they're not that bad. They show signs that it did slip, but it should be all right for another couple pulls and we'll get some new stuff in there.
Okay.
If you notice though that it feels that same way or you think it is slipping, then that's where we're gonna go first.
Okay.
For sure.
How's it look, Zach?
It looks pretty clean. I don't see, it doesn't smell burnt or anything either.
Yeah.
Which is also a sign of clutch slipping. You get like a burning brake smell or something like that, which this does not have. So now we're just gonna bleed out the clutch system, clutch hydraulic system. So we'll start by sucking out the old fluid up here. And then we move down to the slave and we'll connect it to the bleed fitting. Of course it won't stay.
Yes.
Grab a wrench and some .4 brake fluid. Get some nice fresh fluid.
Oh, that looks much better.
Yes. And then just like your brake system, we just connect to this bleeder. Open it up. Squeeze this. And we just do this until we see the clean fluid start to show up in our hose. Stay. Think it's gonna stay? I don't think it's gonna stay. Nope.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that looks like the clean stuff.
Uh-huh.
And we want to make sure there's no air bubbles in it as well, which there isn't, so that's good. That should be good. All right, so we got the clutch hydraulic fluid changed, lubed up the chain, changed the oil, inspected the clutch.
Yep.
Looks like it should be safe to go take another couple of runs. Let's see what happens. If it's still giving you that same issue, I think we're going to go ahead and change all those clutch plates.
Okay.
And which is made easy with our custom clutch cover there.
Yes.
And we removed the lower fairings because you seem to like it.
I think it looks awesome without those lower fairings. You can see the full Van Diemen exhaust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So got a couple things accomplished on the Cowie today. Ready to go hit the streets.
All right. Thanks, Zach.